Hello, golden viewers of gold. Don't just be who you are or what you are. Evolve, change, develop, progress, grow, and become better each day. Know that high achievement always takes place in the framework of high expectation. Nothing, I repeat, nothing can stop a man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goals. Gold is a reality today because we pictured it before it is captured. You're highly welcome, be greatly inspired. This is Gold.
Today on Gold.
Champions do not become champions when they win the event, but in the hours, days, weeks, months, and years they spend preparing for it. The victorious performance itself is merely the demonstration of their championship character. A champion of the day will blow your mind with this powerful story of resilience. Are you ready to go for gold? Let's go for gold with our champion of the day. Be inspired. Founder and CEO of Life Masters, Tony's delivery and communication skills is powerful and can definitely move you. He wants freedom for himself and people around him. Therefore, he started his entrepreneurial journey early in life. For a man who has seen it all, success does not mean material things. He expresses how successful he is because of mentoring, coaching, and most importantly, how his positive mindset has helped him and people around him. Tony's presence on Gold will help individuals, teams, and leaders to perform at the highest levels. It will also help them to reach amazing levels of true personal fulfillment and peace. He is our champion on Gold.
Hi, my name is Tony Dovale. I'm CEO and founder of Life Masters, and today I'm on Gold. I'm really grateful to be here, that I can share wisdom, knowledge, and information, and maybe you can gain something that you can use to transform how you show up in the world. So it's with great gratitude that I'm able to be with you guys today. Thank you. I think we grow up with a theory of what life's meant to be and should be and could be and would be. At a young age, I was overseas on a skiing holiday and I saw some people paragliding. And I thought, wow, I want to do this. And I have a very simple philosophy: do it now. All we have is now. So I came back to Johannesburg. I found a place to go and learn to do paragliding, and I learned to fly. And probably on about my 60th or 70th flight, we were flying in the Drakensberg at 640 meters above the ground, above the farmlands. And I was a little bit overconfident and didn't prepare completely. And as I flew off the mountain, my harness hooked me in a very painful spot. And so I lost control of let go of the control of my paraglider, and I fell 50 meters into the mountainside. I bounced off the rocks, smashed legs, heels, ribs off my chest, hematomas. And then I still flew for about 20 minutes as my paraglider automatically reinflated. And I was in bed for 3 months after that. And I think that kind of woke me up that I can die, because I'd lived as if I was invincible before that. I didn't have this concept that I could actually die. And so I had to give back my guarantee to God that I could die. And so it became of, I have now. I have this moment. Be grateful for this moment. Use this moment. Live in this moment. I can't change yesterday. I can't change tomorrow. I can influence tomorrow. But only space I have any real value, presence, and power is right now. And that's become the foundation of how I show up in the world. So some of the core challenges relating to unhappiness is the problem with education is people are not given the right tools to manage how they think, feel, and act. They're taught what to learn, reading, writing, and arithmetic, but no one's ever taught about emotional intelligence, self-management, self-awareness, resilience, adaptability. So people are living a reactive life. They're basing their happiness on other people. They say, you make me angry, versus I'm making myself angry at what you're doing or not doing that I'm expecting. So very few people are awake enough. People think they're awake because they're awake, but I'm talking consciously self-aware, self-managed, awake, that they're conscious of their internal voicing, that they've changed their internal voice to something positive. And so the unhappiness is a self-induced state of looking at what other people have and saying, I don't have that, I want more, versus being grateful. Your biggest nightmare, wherever you are, is probably 70% of the world's hope and dream. So if you come from a point of gratitude and paying it forward, you can choose to focus on now and be grateful and happy now. The missing piece is mindset. We're not taught how to have a growth optimized mindset. We learn stuff. The problem is the stuff we learn at school or university is so out of date within 2 to 3 years because things are changing so fast. But the right mindset, a resilient, positive self-talk, a bulletproof internal state is what is needed. Happiness is a choice. Just not many people make that choice. The challenge that I really see in the world, it starts with self-belief. There are people who have come from nothing. They've lived in tough times, tough circumstances. In some of the team buildings we've done, people have had to fight dogs in the dustbins to get food whilst they were studying to become lawyers for the public protector. So I think the real challenge starts with a self-belief and a drive that no matter what is around me, I will find a way. One of my last philosophies is there is always a way. For me, my frame of reference, this life is gym for your soul. So whatever's happening isn't happening to you or being done to you. It is being done for you to grow. Not easy to own. I struggle with that myself at times. But understand that everything that is happening is for you to grow, for you to build muscles. You know, guys pay lots of money to go to gym to get these big muscles, and they pick up heavy weights. They struggle with these weights to build their physical muscles. Life gives us those weights to build our mental and our emotional muscles. But because we don't see them as beneficial or valuable, we say it's not fair, look what's happening, it's not right. Poor me. Know this, you have the power. If you choose, if you wake up, you have the power to turn the switch from negative to positive. We all have, you know, the story of the two wolves. This young Indian brave comes to the medicine man and he says, medicine man, you got to help me. I've got this snarling, ugly, smelly, stinky wolf on this shoulder, this dark, evil energy. And I've got this kind, loving, amazing wolf on this shoulder, and they fight the whole time. He says, I have to know which one's going to win because they're affecting me. And the wise man said, the one that you feed the most. We all have this drive from both sides. Which one do you feed? Are you conscious enough that you can feed the kind, courageous, caring, considerate, compassionate wolf and energy? You have that power. You are a piece of God's source spirit. You have the full power. It's time to start that engine.
Accept responsibility for your life and know that it is only you who will take you to wherever you want to go. Nobody else. Know that life is a do-it-yourself project. Let us go for an inspiring break on gold. We are coming back. There are two major ways of spreading light: to be the candle or be the mirror that reflects it. We can make this world a better place for all. But how? Help somebody in your flat. Help somebody in your area. Help somebody in your province, in your country, in your continent, and all over the world. Because the only gift is the portion of thyself. Let your heart be golden and help somebody today.
At Marang House, we do our best to help children, and we always pray that God helps us, that we make other people to be aware of we need to help each other, especially when it comes to children, because children don't really understand. When they are with their families, they don't know that there's another children who's also sick like me, or also suffering like me. But soon as they come to Marang House, then that's when they realize it's not only them that suffer with the diabetics, that suffer with the kidney failure, that suffer with lung infection. And then they see they've got another children that are also suffering. And then having school where they can go in Charlotte Maxeke, it's wonderful again. So we always like want to make an awareness to people to be aware that there's children out there that needs to be helped. I will say, because Marang House has been open 1998 and it's been running under the Dr. Ahrens, who unfortunately 2005 got killed. The greatest achievement, I think, I was a part of it. It's from 2005, after Dr. Ahrens been killed. We all think Marang House was gonna close down. We all every day think maybe tomorrow there will be no job. But with the grace of God, and we're still running. That was the greatest achievement I got. Now I can take my bag and go home because Marang House is still running. That was the greatest achievement I think I got. It was achievement before he died because it helps a lot of children. And then it gets more achievement after he's been taken away from us until today. I started working at Marang House 2000 and I'm about 23 years now still at Marang House. And I am still going on and I don't see myself, I don't see the last day of me being here more now that gold is with us. Another achievement is since Marang House was opened, we have looked after more than 1,000 children, and we still want to go further and further and further, help children morally, especially because children are the future and children needs to be saved. Children needs to be loved. Children needs to be in a very good environment. My advice to people who facing all these problems or all these challenges, especially to the parents of the children that are sick. What I noticed into my experience, when a child got sick in the family, families start fighting each other and start blaming each other, pointing fingers into each other. I hope and pray that they come together. That's the time when they need to come together and pray and work together about this child that are sick. Because the child, when she's sick or he's sick, he needs a support. He needs a support from me. I give support, but he also needs a support from the family. Even if a child can come from Messina, come to Marang House, and I becoming a mother, but the father out there and the mother out there in Messina, they need to give more support to this child. So my advice will, please don't give up. Please don't start turning your back from your children. Please just hang in there. Pray to God. Listen to the doctors. Listen to the nurses. Listen to the social workers. Go out. Go get help. Talk to social workers. Because when you got a sick child, you are already automatically getting sick yourself. So you need help so that you can be strong. You can be able to support your child or face your challenges. Please don't give up.
It is my responsibility to do what inspires me in order to inspire other people to do what inspires them. Many turn their failures to success. Be inspired to do the same.
In the beauty industry, one of the names to be reckoned with is John Paul DeJoria. Starting out, DeJoria sold encyclopedias, pumped gas, and worked as a janitor for a while because he was homeless. DeJoria is an inspiration to entrepreneurs. An army veteran, he hustled to make money and his own success. Now John is sharing his tips with entrepreneurs to help them make their business dreams a reality. His first tip is to stay competitive, and you can achieve that by making your company look official and professional. When DiGiorgio was selling encyclopedias door to door on commission only, he received his best career advice. Be prepared for a lot of rejection. If the first 100 doors are slammed in your face, be just as enthusiastic on door 101. He advises aspiring entrepreneurs to make sure they're doing it for the right reasons. It was hand to mouth for me for 2 years, but we were passionate and believed in what we were selling.
Plant a tree today because someone is going to sit under the shade of the tree tomorrow. In other words, the true meaning of life is to plant a tree under whose shade you do not plan to sit. Do something that someone somewhere will be happy about. Do something that someone somewhere will be able to praise you and pray for you. If you're already doing that, the world will be better. That's my view. Your views are golden too.
Hi everyone, my name is Rabboy Trizi. I'm an artist, aspiring artist. My favorite book is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hills. Now it inspires you, it teaches you how to be positive and then go for your dreams so that one day you can make it. So be positive in these tough times and keep your head up and know that everything is possible.
The only thing that is standing between you and your dream is actually your will to try. And let me tell you that whatever you may be thinking of is possible, it is doable, it is reachable. Let us go for another beautiful break on gold. We are coming back. When we come back, we'll dare to do the undone. We're still on gold. Achievement is about loving something intensely and following it diligently with your heart. And as a champion, you have the opportunity to see what God sees, and the view of this race will become clearer to you. Remember, when you really cannot get up, try as much as possible to get up, and that will make you a champion, a winner, and a conqueror, just like our champion of the day.
There's a joke about an Indian in America, in Texas. He's living in his teepee, and every Sunday they see him on his white horse going into town, and he buys his groceries and he comes back home. And one day they find oil on his farm. And next thing, he's super wealthy. He's got this huge house and cars and a V12 Ferrari Testarossa, 2,000 horsepower. And then they see him going into town one Sunday. And there he is. Everyone's staring at him because there he is on his white horse, pulling the Ferrari behind him. And you're probably laughing at how silly that is. But you're the same, because you have this multi-million horsepower heart and head and soul and energy. But you're still running a 1 horsepower thinking process. Turn the key, turn on your power, your potential. You have the potential. It's time to start using it. And that's the value and the power of a leader and a coach. Is we don't buy into your limited stories. You have his story about your past, like mine, about my dad was tough and he was rough on me and whinge. You can actually, and we have a program and a process called Proactive Memory Rewrite. We can timeline you into your past, change the memory to something positive and supportive, and then rewire it coming forwards, that it's an uplifting and positive and supportive frame of reference rather than a poor me story. Because your story, his story, controls the kind of story you can write going forward. And I believe you have the power to write amazing stories. Most people are living in reactive behavior. Something happens, they get angry. Something happens, they get sad. Something happens, they say, why me, poor me. Because neurons that fire together wire together. Thinking is a habitual process. You have to create an intervention where you stop and intentionally rewire your thinking, which is what I've started to be able to do in my life, but it does take a while to change habits. And I'll give you an example. I make my own kombucha. It's a health drink, and I was busy decanting it into a bowl, and I dropped a whole 5 liters of sugary tea all over my floor. Another person might have got really irritated and angry with the situation. So most people reactively, because of the mess on the floor, would get angry. I just laughed. But I have programmed myself to reduce my reference of how bad stuff is People can take little things and make them big. Other people that are more powerful mentally and emotionally take big things and make them small. We all have the power if we wake up and use it. But the problem is if you don't use it, you lose it. And unfortunately, our country, we see the youth, we see many people are falling into that situation because they're waiting for the government to make it okay and make it right. I'm going to tell you a secret. Don't tell anybody. The government is not for you. They're not coming to save you. And if you're wanting to become dependent on them, you have a huge problem. I am so excited about gold. I'm beyond excited. Because it is a fountain of knowledge and wisdom and inspiration that you can use to fulfill and replenish and refresh yourself and refocus your dreams. You have a choice. Watch Days of Our Wives rubbish, yep, 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 or come to gold and polish up your potential, unleash your power, and shine in the world. The world needs your shine. The world needs your brightness. And for me, my excitement is gold is the beginning of that. I had a gardener called Freddie Mosadami in the days when I had my computer company. And Freddie was my gardener. He used to do all the gardening on the weekend. In those days, it was kind of 10, 20 Rand a day. I'm talking a long time ago, 40-something years ago. But I slowly but surely taught Freddie how to do computers. And I had like a storeroom at home, and I started to teach him how to assemble computers because he had the right, number one, attitude, and he had the right mental, what I call cognitive complexity capacity. And he showed the interest. And so I started to teach him computer stuff. And eventually he worked his way up from being my gardener to where I took him to my offices in town, and he became my storeman. And he then managed all my computer stuff on the shelf. And then we taught him to be a technician, where he used to install hard drives and repair machines. And so he constantly was growing and earning more as he grew. And then he became the buyer, and eventually we parted ways. And then I didn't see him for a long time. And I had bought a computer from one of the suppliers in Midrand, and there was a problem. And I went back and I was trying to get it repaired. And they wouldn't replace it. They made me wait while a technician looked at the machine to see what the problem was. And I was frustrated, and I was twitchy and bitchy and whingy and whiny. But my little birdie said, ask if this technician knows Freddie. And in my head, my self-talk is, there's 50 million black people. How's he going to know Freddie? And I'd never met this technician before, but constantly over 3 hours, my little inner voice was saying, ask if he knows Freddie. And eventually, I said to him, do you know Freddie? Freddie Mosadame. He said, yes, Freddie's my brother. It's like, what? He said, are you Mr. Dovale? I said, yes. He said, do you know that I got this job because of you? I said, what do you mean? He said, everything that you taught Freddie, Freddie taught me. And I was able to get a job and support and supply my family. And that was hugely emotional for me. And about 7 or 8 years later, there was a ring at my gate. And it was Freddie and Jacob, the mechanic. And it was their youngest brother who had just got a job as a computer technician. He came to say thank you, because what I taught Freddie and Freddie had taught Jacob, they had taught to him. And he has now self-sufficient and earning and learning and growing. You see, you never know where these ripples of impact go. You may never see the impact of those ripples. But anyway, put them out. Doesn't matter if people are watching or not. Put out those positive ripples, those positive impacts. Make sure you bring the light. Because just a little bit of light, a tiny piece of light, displaces all the darkness in a room. Love you madly.
Golden viewers of Gold, I guess you know the story of his Chinese bamboo tree. If you don't, I'll tell you. I heard it from one of the greatest speakers in the world, Mr. Les Brown. A Chinese bamboo tree is a very hard nut, and when you plant a Chinese bamboo tree, you have to water it and fertilize it every single day. If you skip a day or two, the Chinese bamboo tree is going to die in the ground. After watering and fertilizing it for 5 good years, the Chinese bamboo tree will break through the ground, and within 6 weeks, it goes 90 feet tall. Here is the question: does it grow 90 feet tall within 6 weeks or 5 years and 6 weeks? You know the answer, because if you skip a day or two, the Chinese bamboo tree is going to die in the ground. Your relationship, your careers, your ideas, your projects are just like Chinese bamboo tree. If you don't believe in it, if you don't keep working towards it, if you don't fertilize it, if you don't water it, it is going to die in the ground. This is what I'm saying. Keep believing in it, keep having faith in it, keep watering it, keep fertilizing it, and don't stop, because when you break through finally, nobody can stop you and nothing can stop you. Consistency is the key. Go for gold.